Hello, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. Just getting all my windows in order here. Welcome. Welcome once more to Ace Attorney. Or rather, the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, I suppose is what I should say. So, we last left off with me being very confused, and I went and I watched the VOD some more, and I looked for reactions for to pursue. I couldn't see shit, so I gave up, and I looked up which dialogue I'm supposed to do stuff on, and apparently it's this one. Apparently there is something for me to do on this one. Some reaction that I was missing. Hold it! So I'm gonna press. I'm not gonna pursue, but I'm gonna look at everyone to see if anything changes, I guess. So none of them have changed. Put the cart before the horse. Nothing changed. Nothing has changed. Okay, so I mean they've both changed now, because he's no longer so startled looking, and he's still, well, he's not looking straight on anymore. Ninja. Change. Famous man. Really thought I did, but when I go over it again in my head. No, I suppose I didn't have to see the precise one. Oh! Well, that's fucking obvious, isn't it? I don't think I ever got this far in the pressing. I think I must have accidentally always hit pursue. Holy shit, is that obvious? Excuse me! Good lord, I must have been so tired yesterday. Or not yesterday, but last time, I mean. Do you have something to say about that, Mr. Fairplay? No, you listen to me. I know what you're thinking. You didn't really see the exact moment the fellow was stabbed. What are the chances of that? Eh? Are you asking me or telling me? Getting flustered. You might be able to extract some new information from him if I answered cleverly. Could he have just happened to see the exact moment the crime was committed? No chance. No, the driver couldn't have seen it because he was facing the other way. It is a little hard to believe, certainly. Unless you spend your time peeping through a skylight on top of an omnibus, that is. Peeping? I'm a respectable city banker, I'll have to know. And I know what I saw. I remember as clear as a Ballarat day. It was a grim scene, I don't mind telling you. Thank you, Mr. Fairplay. Oh, you're hot under the collar there, my lord. I would ask you to supplement your testimony with a clear statement about what exactly you saw. Oh, I can do that all right. I'll tell you just how grim it was. Do you think I'd forget the sight of those blood-soaked hands after that butcher stabbed the man? Hold it! Wait, how did he see? He was wearing gloves, wasn't he? Blood-soaked? Well, perhaps soaked is laid out a little thick, But anyway, there was definitely blood all over them. Both of them were covered in it. And you saw that from the roof, through the skylight. Well, the skylight's reasonably large. Not a pretty good view. And there was a lamp on inside the bed as well, so I'm quite sure what I saw. Banker's latest statement. But I feel sure there's something not quite right about it. When you feel something doesn't add up, Mr. Naruhodo, that's when you should have a good look through the court record. Yeah. Not long ago, this trial very nearly came to an end. Somehow. is alive again. I can't waste this cross-examination. I have to use it to bring some new facts to light. If you're not careful when you press these witnesses, the danger is that the jury will end up believing something unhelpful, as they did before. Maybe. But we can't let the fear of that happening stop us from uncovering new information. Yes, you're absolutely so right. I need to pay careful attention here. I'm a liar, so I don't want to miss even a flicker of reaction from those witnesses. Okay, so we now have a new statement. And Naruhodo says there's something wrong with it. So I'm thinking it's gonna be the gloves that are the key indicator here for us. Maybe. Okay. I would think it's got to be one of these two. Objection! The gloves. Blood-soaked hands. Well, and the soak might be laying on a little thick, but anyway, there was definitely blood all over them. Both of them were covered in it. Well, I'm very sorry to disagree, Mr. Fairplay, but that's more than a little peculiar. What? Here are the gloves worn by the defendant, Mr. McGuilty, on the night in question. Oh, yes. And there certainly does appear to be a sizable dark-colored stain there. But, as I'm sure you can clearly see, it's only on the right-hand glove. In short, Mr. Fairplay, your testimony is inconsistent. But no, that can't be right. So you're the liar here, then? Oh. That's right, you're quite clear about it. You said both hands. Mr. Fairplay, if your last statement was a lie, it calls your entire testimony into question. You say you saw the moment the victim was stabbed, but is that really the truth? Objection! It was a simple mistake. You can't justify accusing this man of lying. Yes, it wasn't both hands, it was only one, but the fact remains. The victim's blood was on the accused. Objection! Now, Mr. Fairplay categorically stated that he saw blood all over both hands, which means there's a strong possibility that this witness was deliberately trying to mislead the court. Why? A city beggar, for pity's sake. My word should be the gold standard. Gentlemen, not some gutter snipe. Upstanding members of society don't prevaricate. Prevaricate? He's claiming to have no reason to lie. But is that really the case? Mr. Naruhodo, he had some evidence to explain why Mr. Fairplay might be lying. Turn the tide in this trial completely. Something to show this man has a compelling reason to lie in his testimony. It's the book, right? My lord. Yes, counsel. The defense is ready to present evidence. By Jove, are you sure? Yes. Evidence that will clearly demonstrate why Mr. Fairplay had reason to lie in his testimony. Cue this music. Very well. I hereby call on the defense to present its evidence. The evidence that demonstrates a motive for the witness's alleged deception of the court. Take that! This is a list of the debtors who owe money to Mr. McGuilty. Yes, a list of innocent victims crippled by the accused extortion. What's extortation? Is that a word I just made up? Extortation. The point is, among the names of these debtors is your name, Mr. Bruce Fairplay. What? Mr. Fairplay, are you currently indebted financially to the accused? It's barely worth being called a debt. According to this ledger, you owe 20 guineas. Not an inconsiderable sum of money, wouldn't you say? What of it? Let's suppose Mr. McGuilty will be found guilty of murder. What would become of your debt in that case? These documents state that the loan agreement is forged between two individual parties. Therefore, for the creditor, the defendant here, to be sentenced to a capital punishment, all outstanding debts which were owed to him would be annulled. They would cease to exist. Cease to exist? Mr. Fairplay, is it not the case that you claimed in your testimony you have seen something you never in fact saw, in a devious attempt to annul your debt of 20 guineas to the defendant? Order! 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 Mr. Fairplay. Yes, my lord. Let me ask you again. Be aware that your answer may have most serious implications upon your future, sir. Did you, or did you not, see the precise moment in time at which the defendant is alleged to have thrust a knife into the victim? Your silence speaks volumes. You did not tell the truth in your testimony. All right. Now, let's not make a melodrama out of this. Perhaps I did overstate the truth a pinch. A pinch? But it makes no difference. I definitely remember seeing blood on McGuilty's hands. Both of them. Objection! And yet, only one of the defendant's gloves, which you have here as evidence, is stained. You keep saying. I wonder if I might be allowed to speak, sir. Go ahead, Mr. First. Well, the thing is, I think I remember seeing it myself, as it happens. Seeing what? The blood, sir, on the assailant's hands. I think, yes, I'm almost sure that was on both of his hands, not just one. What? What? It would appear that we're going to need further testimony from all you witnesses. This time I would like to know precisely what you did and what you did not see. Do I make myself perfectly clear? Yes. Mr. Naruhodo, this is good news. The course of the trial seems to have shifted slightly at last. Yes. I might finally have a chance to turn things around here. There was blood on both hands of the assailant. I sincerely and distinctly remember that. Alright. I suppose you might say that it's the exact moment the stabbing transpired. That matters. I remember seeing the knife, and I remember seeing both of the attacker's hands with blood on them. I didn't actually see anything myself, no, not until I heard that scream. Anyway, the fact remains, there can't have been anyone else inside that carriage, or we would have all seen. Well, lo and behold. In truth of fact, not one of you was witness to the crucial moment the crime was perpetrated. Look, I apologize, my lord, but honestly, there was no one else inside that carriage. The man's hands were covered in blood. Ugh, that much incriminating evidence is tantamount to saying we saw the man do it. That's really not what testimony is about. Let us examine the interior of the omnibus once more. The victim's fresh blood is clearly visible on the seat, corroborating the witnesses' accounts. In other words, there is no substantial nor significant change in the facts of the case. Very well. Your cross-examination, please, counsel. Yes, my lord. How exciting. Imagine, like, how good this would have been in the papers back then. It's like, oh, Japanese exchange student appears. Wow's courtroom. You know? Be pretty cool. Pretty neat. I wonder if my lighting is somehow worse today, or just like the camera is slightly off or something, like calibration wise, because it's like not capturing my mouth very well today for some reason. Like, here, I'm gonna open my mouth really wide, and I'm gonna close it, and now it's gonna be like just talking, blah 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 blah. Like, see, can't move at all. Weird, very weird. Alright, there's blood on both ends of the segment.
Hold it!
Stick to remember that. Okay, but we have gloves that prove otherwise, so... No, the evidence tells us otherwise. We have the gloves the defendant was wearing on the night in question in the courtroom. I'm well aware of that, sir. But nevertheless, I know what I saw and I stand by it. The man had blood on both his hands. He's defiant, even in the case of hard evidence. Steadfastly refusing to admit that he might be mistaken about what he saw. But why? Your reasoning is dire. One hand or two, the salient point remains unchanged. Minutes after the grim scene, the victim's blood dripped grossly from the accused fingers. Don't try to downplay this. Whether or not you saw the exact moment of the crime, it's a matter of fundamental importance, as you well know. Crying out loud, we all know that no one else could possibly have done it. I was just wanted to save us all some time. You have a loan of 20 guineas outstanding with the defendant, do you not? Had you hoped to release yourself from that financial burden by ensuring the defendant was found guilty? That's not entirely not what I was hoping for. I just lost a little guinea or 10 when I backed the wrong horse in the derby, that's all. I was going to win it all back. The fixture this weekend, that's a short thing. A little guinea or 10. I'm a banker. No one bats an eye if I borrow a little money, borrow a little spending money for the weekend. I think you may have revealed rather more about your character than you bargained for, sir. This witness's scruples are not on trial here. Proceed to the next witness. So that's supposed to work.
Hold it!
You definitely saw that too. Blood on both hands. Yes, sir. I mean, I know what you're going to say. We want to miss the McGuilty gloves and any sign of blood on it. That's right, holy fucking shit. Sorry, someone is like blowing up my phone right now. Like, leave me alone. Please. That's right. The thing is, as far as I remember, sir, when I looked down and saw Mr. McGuilty sitting beside the other fellow, I don't believe he was wearing any gloves, sir. He wasn't wearing those gloves. That's correct, sir. I saw the blood on both his bare hands quite clearly. It's true that the dark-colored stain on the dark leather gloves wouldn't have been easy to see. I should point out that the police officer who apprehended the accused in the question reported that there was no trace of blood on Mr. McGuilty's gloved hands. There wasn't blood on his hands. This is puzzling indeed. This must be significant somehow. I'm sure of it. Can we get that police officer's note, like, put into the court record?
Hold it!
You didn't see anything? Oh, yes. So that is to say, no, sir, I didn't. But I'm very sorry about what I said before, sir. Very well. Very sorry, yes. If it was very wrong of me to make up stories and I just stab the man. Say, wouldn't you agree, sir? But I certainly wasn't making up stories. Still, to say you saw nothing isn't right either, is it? No, sir, I saw nothing at all. Mr. Beppo, you were driving your horses. At the very least, you must have enjoyed a good view of the London streets, no? Oh, please, you didn't even see that. It was so cold then. It was all I could do to keep from passing out, sir. Yes, my head was fairly frozen, sorry to say. But it would seem prudent to avoid travel on the last omnibus service of London's cold winter nights. Beppo! Yeah. Anyway, the fact remains, there can't have been anyone else inside that carriage, or you all would have seen. And everything you saw of the incident was through the skylight on the roof of the omnibus? That's right. It was fiercely cold that night, but the glass wasn't frosted over. Oh yes, I remember I was shivering. It was so bitter. Which rather begs the question why the pair of you were sitting on the roof deck in the first place. Well, I don't know about this young fellow, but I couldn't enter the cabin. Oh? Why not? It was locked from the inside. I tried knocking, but no one opened the door. It was locked. That's right. It's a public bus service, for pity's sake. That's not what I call fair play. Yes, I had exactly the same experience. I tried knocking, but the gent inside just gestured at me to clear off. So I had no choice but to climb to the roof deck and look down longingly into the warm cabin below. Well, I can assure you I wasn't just looking down. I was glaring, long and hard. And that's precisely why I can tell you with absolute confidence that if there was anyone else at all in that cabin, I would have noticed. Unequivocal, I would say. I'm not sure about these two witnesses. Could they really have seen everything inside the cabin through the skylight? I don't think so, actually. So, I mean, when you look down through it, you could certainly see that, but you wouldn't be able to see this, right? Allow me to confirm one thing, Mr. Fairplay. You were riding this omnibus, and witnessed the events in the cabin through the skylight and the floor of the upper deck. Is that right? That's right, yes. In that case, there's a portion of the cabin interior that would have been out of sight from you. What? By golly, really? Obviously, at this stage we can't say for sure. But the possibility cannot be denied. That at the time of the incident, there could have been another passenger in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus.
Objection!
Enough hypothetical meandering, my Nepalese friend. The prosecution demands that you substantiate your claims. After all, the scene of the crime is here, in the flesh. Very well. I will uphold the prosecution's demand. You will identify the area on this cross-sectional plan of the omnibus. Where? Exactly. In the omnibus, are you suggesting this potential extra passenger could have been situated? Right fucking here? Like, Like, what do you mean where? Right here.
Take that!
It's like, is there any other place? Both rows of seats on the roof face in the direction of travel, whereas the seats in the enclosed cabin face each other. Which means the visible part of the cabin, which passengers on the roof deck can see through the skylight, is as I've drawn here. Ah! That's right, my lord. As you can see, the seat opposite the one on which the victim and his attacker were sitting is obscured from view. In other words, if someone had been sitting on that seat, it's quite possible that these witnesses would have been completely unaware of it. Good job, Number. Good job, Number. It's quite possible some phantom was sitting there. You Nipponese have a forbidding habit of obscuring the truth with ambiguity. I concur with the prosecution's rejoinder. In a British court of law, evidence is paramount. I cannot entertain this conjecture, counsel. Well, that is, unless you're able to put a name to this mysterious passenger to whom you allude. I don't think I can yet. Are there any other names in here? We know we found Bruce Fairplay's name here, but if I examine like both pages, do I get more? It's all those the same, okay. So nothing's gonna be different here. Little people. Strong heart, gilded. Seeks Christ-fired Mason. Beppo, Bruce, Lady Verse. Well, I better save, because I don't know what the hell we're gonna say. Can you, Mr. Naruto? I honestly don't know. Who could it have been? Who could have been in the other seat, which was out of sight from the witnesses on the roof deck? I have an inkling, I have no idea. I mean, McGuilty could have been on that side, I suppose. I mean, he did say, wait, actually, well, didn't McGuilty say that, like, he woke up, saw it, and then, like, bent over or rushed over? But then that would mean that someone else saw somebody else who looked like him, right? I have no idea. I have literally no idea. But as a proud citizen of the Japanese Empire, you will look to the sky and walk on, making sure all signs of tears are gone. Go on! This isn't just some case of going on, Mr. Sutter. Alright, then I'll go on. The defense would like to put forward a name. You are a fool. That response was a desperate attempt by a man who has no notion of his own limitations. A toast for hard lessons not yet learned. God, I'm gonna take some screenshots of the game. These are like gold for like responding to people on Twitter. Let us not delay, counsel. The defense is still to name the passenger of the other seat. This could be the chance I've been waiting for to turn the trial in my favor. On that night, on the night of the murder, the person occupying the seat in the omnibus cabin that was obscured from view was...
Take that!
McGuilty, I suppose. He's really the only one we can offer, right? The passenger in the enclosed cabin that the witnesses on the roof deck failed to see. It has to have been Mr. Magnus McGuilty. Mr. McGuilty? What are you talking about, counsel? That's the name of the defendant.
Objection!
If I desecrate this chamber by smashing my hallowed chalice, do forgive the discourtesy. What fun seeks! People talk of those tiny island nations of the Far East as having a learning and culture of their own. But I see they use the terms ill-advisedly. What are you trying to say? Let me explain in terms that even a student of an artless backwater such as yourself might understand. When the bloody scene unfolded, the victim and his assailant were sitting side by side. Multiple witnesses have attested to the fact. It's the very premise on which this case is built.
Objection!
But that premise may be wrong. What? If the victim really was sitting beside Mr. McGuilty, it creates an inconsistency that can't be reconciled in any way. What inconsistency, counsel? The defendant's gloves, my lord. Both witnesses made the same testimony. They claim that there's blood on both hands of the person sitting next to the victim.
Objection!
Yet we know the truth to be otherwise. Only one glove bears the gold.
Objection!
The point is, even in the face of this irrefutable evidence, both witnesses have maintained their stance. Yes, their testimony remains unchanged. Exactly. They both adamantly swear that they clearly remember seeing blood on both hands of the assailant. In short, their memory of events is correct, and their testimony reveals the truth. There was somebody else sitting beside the victim that night. A third party we have yet to identify. And the victim's blood was on that passenger's hands, both of them.
Objection!
And who was this third party? Obviously, the true culprit. Extraordinary. Order. Order. What exactly are you postulating?
Objection!
The defense's postulation is just that. Nothing more than conjecture. The witnesses have clearly stated that they saw the accused.
Objection!
But when elaborating on his testimony, Mr. Fairplay said the two of them were wearing hats, and I couldn't exactly make out their faces. Yes. The tops of their heads were obscured by the roof. I could see the rest of them, though. Yes, that's right. Both gents were most certainly hatted. Hatters do tend to notice such things, sir. And what particular styles of hat did the two gentlemen sport, Mr. First? I'm afraid I don't remember. And you call yourself a hatter? The style of hat makes no difference. There was no third passenger in that cabin. How can you be so sure? Because if there had been, the accused Mr. McGuilty would undoubtedly have offered to depose the fact. Unless, that is, you are proposing an even more preposterous explanation. That the accused failed even to notice the presence of the true culprit of the very cabin in which he traveled. Yes, because he was asleep. He was asleep. He didn't know. He's right. If there was another person traveling in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus, it's inconceivable that Mr. McGuilty would have been unaware of it. Order! There is clearly a simple solution to this problem. Bring the accused, Mr. McGuilty, to the stand. Well, what say you, counsel? The prosecution objects, my lord. On what grounds? As I suspect he will have already made a full statement to the police. But what if there's some reason why he's unable to speak freely? Magnus McGuilty is no uneducated ruffian. If it indeed turns out the man has been withholding information, you can be sure that a most deliberate act. Counsel for the defense, what is your opinion? My lord, should we ask Mr. McGuilty to testify or not? Yes? I don't know. I feel like we need to because we don't have any other options, really, right? Yes, we need to hear what he has to say in order to find out the truth. The defense would like to call Mr. McGuilty to the stand. In that case, I would like to hear the opinion of the jury. Yes, I need a little time to consider this. If you ask me, I think we should hear what Mr. McGuilty has to say. Get the man out here, I say. It would be utterly illogical not to hear his testimony. When something needs doing, get it done. That's how I run things at the guild. Hearing what the patron of my favorite little park has to say. Oh yes, that would be lovely. Yes, the jury says the man must be heard. Very well. The court will hear the defendant's testimony. Bailiff, show the defendant to the stand at once. Cool. I hope this was the right choice. Now, what actually happened? I'm finally clear. Let proceedings be resumed. Mr. McGuilty, have you been listening to the discourse of the day? To be sure I have, my lord. There are now two matters on which the court desires to hear from you. The first is whether or not there was a third party with you in the omnibus cabin, as proposed by the defense. The second is that if such a person was indeed present, why did you conceal that fact from the police? Gad, no! It is not in my nature to hide anything at all. Just answer the questions, please. The truth of the matter is, I've been desperate about this all along. Do I tell yous all or keep my mouth shut? Tell us what, Mr. McGuilty? The fine fellow representing me is absolutely right. In the carriage on the night with myself and the other man, there was another passenger. It's true. Aye. It was me who helped the little urchin get away after all helping. You. What? I don't know if this is helping our case very much. No, Magnus. That convenient excuse can't save you now. I'm truly sorry, so I am Lord Van Zeeks. I'm sure you'll be wondering why I said nothing when I was taken by the police. I didn't have a very good reason, I assure you. Which was? Well, the little child was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. And not in any way involved, you see. What? If the police had known the wee one was there, they'd have assumed she'd done it. They'd have hauled her into this here courtroom just like myself. Well, I was only trying to spare her that. Young hearts and young minds are easily damaged, my lord. And who was this young child of whom you speak? That, I don't know. You don't know? Aye, well, the wee ting just happened to be in the carriage that night. I never saw her before or since.
Objection!
We have absolutely no reason to believe this man. The prosecution calls for the witness statements to be disregarded by the court. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if the urchin isn't here in this courtroom as we speak, listening to the proceedings. What? Stop! Yeah, fire! There's a fire! Look, someone's trying to get away! After them! It's no use! Can't see anything through all the smoke. What is going on? Be careful, Mr. Naruhodo. Cover your face. Bailiff! Don't let the accused escape. Secure the omnibus. I hereby call an emergency recess. Bailiff, ensure the defendant is in custody and clear the courtroom. Well, we are hurriedly removed from the smoke-filled courtroom by the bailiff. Amid scenes of chaos, as people stumbled over one another in their desperation to flee the chamber, we had no idea what was happening. All we knew was that, for the time being, the trial was suspended. To be continued. Well, that escalated real fast, didn't it? The runaway room, huh? Did the room just run away now? Is that why it's called this? Or hurry along, please, my brother. What on earth just happened? Mr. Naruhodo, I managed to find out what happened. Mr. Sato, I was told it was an advanced form of smoke grenade, a type of exploding device that releases smoke. A smoke grenade? It sounds like the sort of things ninja use. They're just making sure everything is safe now. I think the trial will start again before long. But who would have done something like that? The police managed to catch someone who was trying to flee the courtroom, apparently. Flee the courtroom? Why? Well, it's a young girl of around 15 then. A young girl? Then could it be the other passenger that Mr. McGill was just talking about? My thoughts exactly. So he wasn't lying. What's become of Mr. McGuilty, actually? There are so many things I need to ask him about, but he's not here. I think he was summoned to the prosecutor's antechamber to answer questions, along with the young girl. Who is she, I wonder? And what was she even doing here at the trial? She took a huge risk, but for what possible benefit to herself? There's another matter that's troubling me. What's that? The 20 pence. Oh. According to the coachman, Mr. Beppo, he took 4 passengers that night at a fare of 5 pence each. That comes to a total of 20 pence exactly. But now it seems though... Oh, wait, we know Skate's saying this. But now it seems that there are in fact 5 passengers. Which means the figures don't seem to add up again. Ugh, right. Counsel for the defense, kindly proceed into the courtroom. The trial will recommence in 5 minutes. Oh, thank you, officer. We'll go in straight away. Well, whoever she is, I imagine this young girl will be asked to take the stand and testify now. I really can't imagine what she's going to say, but it could alter the whole direction of the trial. We'll know soon enough, Mr. Sato. Yes! What is Susato's full name? Is there a pun in her name? Oh, look at this little scamp. There's the young girl next to Mr. McGuilty. Look. She must have been the one who caused the disturbance before. Well, after that rather eventful recess, the court will now resume the trial of Mr. Magnus McGuilty. Now then, Lord Von Zeeks. My lord, I believe you have established the cause of the smoke which fell in the proceedings earlier. It seems to have been an advanced form of smoke grenade, of the sort typically employed by the army. Good gracious! The army? What did the devil say? It was an elaborate attempt by a young girl to cloak her escape from the public gallery, but she was caught. And now occupies the stand. Your name, girl? Are you responsible for the smoke grenade which induced such pandemonium here in my courtroom? What is the meaning of this deplorable behavior? If I may, my lord. Yes, Mr. McGuilty. I think perhaps I ought to explain here why it is that we last was here in the first place, and why she tried to bolt like that. It's all tied up with the events of that night, so it is. Very well, Mr. McGuilty, give your testimony. You will explain to the court exactly how this young woman is involved in the case. Just what did happen that night? It's not like a defense lawyer needs that information or anything. Well, the night in question, I took the back seat in the omnibus and promptly nodded off. Then, Agora, a loud thud and a wee scream woke me up at a fair start. There was a fella collapsed on the floor at my feet, so I sat him up on the seat across from me. Then I turned to find out where that scream had come from. And bless my soul, what did I find? There was a child in there, all caught up in a ball, hiding her wee self away. I remained somewhat baffled, I confess. But from what I gathered, the night in question, this young girl was indeed riding in the omnibus. Is that correct? 'Tis exactly as the defense counsel said. This last was the 5th passenger, my lord. Very well. The defense may now cross-examine the witnesses. Are you ready, counsel? Yes, my lord. Or rather, no. I have no idea where to start. It's amazing that she still hasn't given her name yet. Alright, let's get to pressing.
Hold it!
And when you first got into the omnibus, were there any other passengers already on board? There were none. The cabin was empty, and there was no one on the roof deck either. You were the first passenger, as it were, I see. Aye, and that's why I took the back side as I did. It is the most comfortable, so it is. Could you explain exactly what you mean by the back seat? By all means. This is how you already described it earlier. I'm talking about the seat opposite the one which the poor gentleman who was stabbed was sitting. Like I said, it's the most comfortable and where I feel most at ease. Of course. I enjoy gazing to the skylight from time to time as well. And Bagora!
Hold it!
A loud thud, you say? And a scream? Aye, that's right. How can I explain it? It was like the sound of someone falling to the ground. That sort of noise. So you think it was the sound of Mr. Mason falling to the floor having been stabbed? Well, I don't remember I was asleep at the time, so I wouldn't like to say. But when the sound woke me up and I opened my eyes, there wasn't a soul to be seen in the carriage but the fellow on the floor. Oh, that doesn't match with what he said earlier. But at the same moment, you did hear a scream. The seat's above you on the roof deck, I presume. Not above me, no, my lord. It was from inside the cabin. But I wasn't altogether thinking about the scream. No, I was too stunned by the desperate sight before my eyes. There was a fella collapsed on the floor at my feet. So I sat him up on the seat across from me. You sat him up? The victim, you mean? That I did. On the seat across from me, as I said. Could plainly see the poor devil was already gone. And you wouldn't leave a dead man just lying on the floor now, would you? Tis common courtesy, so it is. I find that a little hard to believe. Hara! Lord Von Zeeks! No, why would that be? You wake to find a man lying dead at your feet in a carriage? Any normal person would hail the cabin. Any upstanding member of London society, that is. Well, now, as you know, I'm in something of a special line of business. The business of lending money at exorbitant rates of interest. Unfortunately, my lord, not everyone is thankful for the help I offer them. And some would even see me dead. So I do try, where at all possible, to avoid getting yourself in a tangle of trouble. Oh, are you suggesting you're just going to leave the man there? Heavens alive, no! I was always intending to report it, so I was. Only, I had a mind to find out the whys and wherefores first. The whys and wherefores? Right you are. There were some details I wanted to understand before, anyone else got to meddle in? That wee scream I heard, for example. Wouldn't your good self do just the same? Yes. The scream he says he heard at the same time as the thud of the victim collapsing. Then I turned to find out where that scream had come from, and bless my soul, what did I find? I'm afraid I don't understand. I'm sure you told the court that there was no one else in the carriage except yourself and the victim. So I guess, so I did. As far as I could see, that is. What do you mean by that? Well now, here's a clear thing. The wee scream I heard as I woke up. That came from, if you'll excuse the vulgar expression, under me backside. Good gracious. Under your backside? And when I lifted the seat on which I've been sitting, I found there was a wee cubby hole there for storage. Yes, sir, hold on. We can examine the omnibus ourselves, remember? Yes, of course. The whole bus was submitted as evidence. This would be a very good time to have a thorough look around inside. And that's when I found her. So I've already examined the omnibus before, right? But I'm gonna do it again just in case there's any kind of triggers related to this, you know, that might need us to do this during this junction. Sorry, I have to look directly on this. Wasn't there stuff in here before? There's nothing in here, it's totally empty. It wasn't empty before. Did the girl empty it during the smoke thing? Huh. They're trying to hide it. Fascinating. I wonder... Oh shit, fuck. I pressed the right button instead of pressing the press button. Let me get through this, please. Oh, what's this about? She's always so, like, gung-ho about it, you know? Oh, I don't know why, but this just gave me a great idea. So, like, little Zachan here, with her cute hair and everything like that. I was talking to a friend about how, like, her shirt's very plain. It's just blue. What if I gave her, like, a pizza kimono?
Hold it!
You say she was hiding that herself. Why, that's right. It was hard to see in the dim lamplight, but she was all curled up in a wee ball. When our eyes met, well, my heart nearly stopped beating in my chest. You're really overacting this. Still in all, I pulled her out from under there. Sat her on the seat opposite, so I got up a wee chin wag with it. The seat opposite? That's right. Just next to the dead gentleman there. You sat this young girl next to a corpse, sir. Now, as I'm sure I mentioned, a gentleman in my position can all too often find himself in mortal danger. So, I needed to find out just who this urchin was, you see. And while I was in the middle of talking with her, I heard another scream. A fella's voice this time. Presumably that scream was Mr. First, who was sitting on the roof deck seats. Right you are again, I would say, sir. Looking down through the skylight, he must have seen this young girl and a gentleman with a knife in his belly. In other words, the previous witnesses did not, in fact, see you at all, Mr. McGuilty. What they believed to be yourself and the victim was, in fact, this girl and the late Mr. Mason. Why, my lord? I was, as I think everyone understands now, sat at the back of the carriage out of sight. It is certainly plausible. The defendant is somewhat diminutive in stature, and readily confused, perhaps, with this young man. After that, of course. With the scream from the gentleman over us, the driver realized something was wrong and pulled up the horses. Thank you. I've heard enough. The events as explained are clear in my mind. However, at least one conundrum remains. Who is the girl? Her name is Gina Lestrade, my lord. Lestrade? Wait, what? What do you mean? Like, Lestrade as in, like, Sherlock Holmes police officer Lestrade? She's a dancer. Earns her crust among large crowds, relieving people of their purses. It's commonly called a pickpocket. What? This girl here? A petty thief? I bet you her bag is full of shit. Order! Order! Is this true, Miss Lestrade? Miss Lestrade, you will answer the question. Ugh. How dare you! What is the meaning of this? Oh, the girl! She's gone! Open your eyes. Hi, over here. Sorry, I thought that was gonna go. Good gracious, how? What was the point in that little side step? I know what you lot are thinking. Grown-ups are the same. This dirty little dipper, you'll say, slipped up and got caught on the job. She got herself backed into a corner, so she knifed the gent. Go on! That's what's in your heads, ain't it? No, not at all. This is a court of law. We're here to determine the truth, not cast... Look! Knives are for cowards. Only thugs use weapons like that. All I need for what I do is these fingers. I'm a professional, alright? Maybe not in your eyes, but I got pride in what I do. I don't know what voice to give her, so... Let me guess, you don't count smoke guns among weapons for thugs? Oh, this? Yeah, this isn't a bag I left the other day. Down where they keep the four-wheel drags. It's nice, isn't it? I like pink vest. That's gotta be Sherlock Holmes's. You see the design on it? Oh, do not wave that thing in my direction again! So... You admit that you were riding the omnibus on the night in question? It's alright, lass. Tell them the truth now. Alright, yeah. Just like the Irishman said. The court accepts this girl, Miss Gina Lestrade, as a valid and significant witness in this case. Accordingly, young lady, we will now hear your testimony, if you please. You will tell the court exactly what happened in the omnibus on the night in question. Alright, if I have to. What the girl saw. Let's save. Always good to start saving that when someone gives testimony. So I snuck inside the carriage before they hooked up the horses, just like I always. It was a right old waste of time. Got nothing to show me from the troubles that night. I'll tell you, can't see a blind thing in that hiding place. Pitch it there. Then, after a while, I hear this loud bang. I jumped out of my skin, I did, and the scream just came out. Because of that, Saul found me. He did help me get away, mind. Yes, he let you go. I fail to understand why you let this street urchin go, Mr. McGuilty. Oh, 'tis simplicity itself, my lord. You see, she couldn't possibly have killed the other passenger. I knew that for a fact. How? As I'm sure I said before, sir. I was sitting right on top of the place where she was hiding herself. I think a demonstration is called for. This is where I was sat that night. And the cubby hole of which you have spoken is underneath the seat, I presume. Yes, it does appear just large enough to accommodate someone of the girl's stature. Aye, but of course, the wee lass was stuck in there, because I parked myself on the seat for the duration. Oh, so you see, that's why I let the lass fall. I knew that if the police found her there, they'd automatically assume she'd done it. But I couldn't live with myself if a young life was ruined when all the time I knew she was innocent. Even though you must have realized your action would result in your own innocence being called into question. Not at all, my lord, not at all. I knew in my own heart that I was innocent. So I thought it was worth taking a punt on my own good name for the sake of this less fortunate lass. My goodness! What a perfect gentleman! My lord! This fine example of a man cannot possibly be guilty of a heinous crime like this. I'm ashamed myself for ever doubting you, sir. With calm, calculated reasoning, one arrives clearly at the truth every time. Okay, so is Van Z's gonna get them all to go black? Saints alive! Oops. All 6 members of the jury consensual and they're leaning to a verdict of not guilty. Mr. Naruhodo, this is what it means. It must be what? We're victorious. We've won. Are you sure?
Objection!
Holy shit. If the sight of my iron-haired Wellington offends, pray for, do forgive the courtesy. Sorry guys. This really is a consummate example of the one monumental flaw in British judicial practices. Where evidence and reasoning should be paramount, emotion rules the day. Emotion? The witness's latest statement gives us a clear insight into his true nature. What do you mean, his true nature? Do you really think Scotland Yard would have made such a glaring omission? After the incident, the omnibus was comprehensively searched by officers of the police. Obviously, the interior of this cubbyhole was included in the investigation. The compartment under the posterior seat was full of the coachman's belongings. It's noted in black and white here in the police report. Good Lord. The evidence has been tampered with. In order to corroborate Mr. McGuilty's story, someone has unlawfully removed everything from under the seat. What? Yeah, it's in that bag. I bet you. Order! Order! There's such a devious contrivance that possibly have been affected, Count. Naturally, let's acknowledge the deficiencies of the constabulary and come from allowing this to have happened. Sorry, my tongue is not working right now. Let me take a sip of water and then try that again. Naturally, we must acknowledge the deficiencies in the constabulary in allowing this to have happened. However, I assure you, when the omnibus was wheeled into the courtroom this morning, the compartment under the seat was not empty. Well, my Nipponese friend. Me? When the carriage was submitted as evidence, doubtless you examined it in fine detail, as would any self-respecting practitioner of the law. Pray, What did you find the condition of the underseat compartment to be?
No, to be sure, the young gentleman will be able to clear this up in a jiffy.
Sorry.
Go ahead. You tell the court now, fella. Oh, this is all an elaborate excuse by the desperate Lord Von Zeeks.
Well, counsel, do you have something to say on this matter?
How am I supposed to answer? What can I say about the state of that little compartment under the seat of the omnibus? I really don't know if giving this answer is helping my cause as counsel for the defense. But as far as I remember, at least. When I first examined the compartment, I'm fairly certain there were a number of articles inside of it, yes.
Oh, are you sure, counsel?
Ada, the list. What are you saying now, you deaf dog? Thought you were on my side here.
What game are you playing? Your task is to defend the man in the stand. Why would you say something to compromise his position?
As the advocate for the defense in this trial, I confess I'm still not entirely sure where I stand. But it seems to me that I should state what facts I do know as clearly and as honestly as possible.
Interesting.
It's not altogether pleasing, fella.
I'm simply telling the truth, Mr. McGuilty.
Well, don't forget that you're supposed to be representing my best interest here, lad. Now then. A fellow's memory is a curious thing, and not altogether reliable. No, the court must consider the facts. But their cubbyhole under the seat is as empty as the devil's hat, so it is. You think perhaps it would be in your best interest now to admit that you might have been mistaken. Why do I feel like something's not right here?
I should like the jury to weigh in on this matter, I think. That compartment's designed to house equipment used to maintain the smooth running of the carriage. The guild's rules state that omnibus should be properly and fully equipped at all times, so it certainly wouldn't have been empty on the night in question. Pepper isn't that irresponsible. That money-lending fleecer and the pick purse are lying.
I can't believe I was nearly taken in. The stinking rich are always stinkers. Nothing but cowards, a lot of them. What? Oh, no. It's a trick. Of course it's a trick. Quite so. I must concur here. With calm, calculated reasoning, one arrives clearly at the truth of the time. Yes, but every time a different truth, it seems.
My lord, I humbly exhibit the scales of justice. Clearly, a verdict of not guilty this time would be wholly inappropriate. Thank you, counsel. But before we proceed any further, there is the matter of the outstanding cross-examination. Counsel for the defense, begin your questioning of the witnesses, please.
Yes, my lord. What just happened? The whole balance of the trial just shifted almost beyond recognition. The Reaper of the Bailey is at work, it would seem. So I stuck inside the carriage before they hooked the horses, just
Hold
like
it!
always.
So, you were already in the omnibus before it even set off its run?
Oh, yeah. I mean, what's the point of spending a joey to make a few bob, eh? That's a reminder, yeah. That should make sense. Council, may I remind you that this girl's a petty thief. Kindly refrain from entertaining her tenants. Yeah, that does clear up the little mystery of the fares and all. 4 paying passengers at 5 pence apiece, making the 20 that went to the cabin testified. And 1 little escape race right into free. That conquered the driver always goes for some grub before his last one, see? So that's when I slip into the carriage and get myself hidden under the seat. Nice and easy, right?
But your hiding place is a storage compartment. Full of equipment for the coach, no?
Yeah, there's brushes and buckets and whatnot in there, sure. I always chuck all that out and cram it in a corner somewhere. No one ever seems to bother much.
And yet, according to the report filed by the police officer who first arrived at the scene, the compartment was full of such paraphernalia.
Huh, I don't know enough about that. Like I said, I moved all that stuff out so I could hide under the seat. That's all I can tell you.
Seems to reach the end of that line of inquiry. You.
But it's a total waste of time. I got nothing to show for me trouble that night.
What about that guinea in your hand?
A waste of time? Why is that? Well, most nights I'm on my own and the God permit at least some time.
On me own from the God permit at least some time. What? Hey, I beg your pardon. Did you say God permit?
Oh yeah. Well, that's what my kind call it. You'd say the omnibus, I suppose. Point is, any normal run, carriage ain't got no one in it for a while.
And that's when you come out of your hiding place and get away.
That's it. Only that, man. This cove was sat on my seat from the start. And he didn't budge the whole way, did he? Not 1 inch. I was totally stuck.
Do you mean to tell us that you were present in the carriage for the duration? You were under the seat the entire time while events unfolded in the closed cabin.
Yeah. Right, mister?
To be sure. I was as shocked as anyone. You don't expect to lift the cushion you've been sat on to find a chow now, do you?
So this Miss Lestrade couldn't possibly get in touch with them. I tell ya, can't see a blind thing in that hiding place.
Hold it!
There.
So you couldn't see out into the cabin at all?
Not a job. Most days I push the cushion up with my head and look out a crack. Then I can have a butcher there who have gone with middle.
I thought you were a pickpocket, not a butcher.
I mean, I can have a look. The seat I get under ain't as plush as the other one, see? So most of the time, passengers play themselves opposite. But for some reason that night, this Irishman spent the whole journey right over me head. And for that reason, you weren't able to push the cushion up to peek out. Let's see. Truth is, I ain't too happy in small dark places. There's too much like being thrown in the clink. That's the only place to hide in the carriages. With opposite choice. Why doesn't she just stick her picking people's pockets in there? I'd say there's some reason that she's not looking on, judging from the demeanor. So anyways, I was a bit scared. But I just take it out of there, nothing else for it. Then after a while, I hear this loud bang. Really jumped out my skin, I did, and the scream just came out.
Hold it!
When you say a loud bang, do you mean the noise of someone falling to the floor?
Would have been, I suppose. I don't remember it so well. Point is, it made me jump. Let out a scream, involuntarily. That's right. When I felt the cushion over me, I'd get lighter all of a sudden.
Presumably when the defendant got up in order to help the victim, yes. Or not. It could equally have been the moment the accused stood in order to stab his victim, but did not. Well, girl, you see what happened at that crucial moment?
Yeah, I saw it. I pushed up the cushion. Had a quick butcher's while I had the chance then. The Irishman was sitting up the bloke what had fallen on the floor on the seat opposite. That matches Mr. McGuilty's account, of course. But then, the fella suddenly turns around and looks right at me. I sunk back down again, but it was too late by then. Should never risk looking. Because of that, the swab found me. He did help me get away.
Hold it!
And when Mr. McGuilty discovered you, he pulled you out from your hiding place. I was scared stiff, I was. He dragged me out and sat me down on the seat and all. Next to the victim, Mr. Mason? Yeah. But the bloke had a knife in his guts. He was still bleeding. Then the carrot lurched a bit and ended up falling onto me. Oh, how awful. Both me hands got covered in blood. We feel sick as a dog. Both of them covered in blood. That must be what the rooftop passenger saw. After that, I believe you talked to Mr. McGuilty for a while. Is that correct? He asked me some stuff. Wanted to know my name and what I was up to on that. Then I heard something from above, from the screen. Yes, Mr. Ferris on the roof deck from the vision. Well, I didn't want no one seeing my face, so I didn't look up. And the horses were drawn up smartish, and the sea Irishman says to me, "Get back under the seat. I'll see that you can get away later." All 6 members of the jury had decided when it was necessary. For one brief shiny moment, yes. It's clear that they're all still very unsure. We could just find some conclusive piece of evidence among this new testimony. Oh, I'm sure we could clinch the verdict we want. Yes, I think you're right. And I have this niggling feeling. Something's bothering me. I just can't quite put my finger on it. Oh, alright, so we've pressed on everything now. Nothing to show for troubles. She didn't like grab anything out of them. Can't see anything in there. The loud bang. Man, I don't know. The bang, maybe. Like, if it was a gunshot. Though, it couldn't have been a gunshot, right? Okay, let's press again and try to. I was paying attention, mine, to what's his face, but he didn't change at all this entire time. So I'm just gonna click through. She's also been playing with this coin the entire time, which I suppose is probably just her, like, you know, thing. But it doesn't seem like anything like that, dude. Yeah. Let's put some more coin. Nothing to show for troubles. I feel like that's gotta be wrong somehow, but I don't really have anything yet to prove that. What did you say? There's been kind of no anything for us.
It is kind of weird because she did say that the one that she goes under is least plush and not as comfortable, while McGuilty says that he goes to the comfortable seat because he wants to sleep, right?
Hold it!
See this part.
Well, no. Excuse me.
Now he's doing something different. Is something wrong, Mr. McGuilty? Oh, well, I do apologize. Was there something the matter, Counsel? I'm just wondering if Miss Lestrade's last comment made something occur to you, perhaps. You seem to be thinking something to yourself. Oh, no. 'Twas nothing important. I was feeling bad for the poor lass is all. Oh, I remember feeling desperate myself as a young lad. Shut up in the dark. It was terrifying, so it was. I see. Yes, I'm sure we can all sympathize. I'm still scared of the dark now. Aye. And I don't know about yourself, but I find that the darkness seems to make everything you hear seem that much louder as well. I suppose it does, maybe. Miss Lestrade, did you hear something that night? Anything? An unusual noise, perhaps? No, not really. All I could hear was the Irishman snoring. But jabbers, there's no need to tell the whole world of me foibles, you little scamp. What a pity. If only Miss Lestrade had heard something, it might have given us a vital new clue. Yes. I should have noted that last statement of hers. That the Irishman was snoring? That it's pretty important that he was fucking asleep. That's what I think. My lord! I believe the statement just made by the witness is profoundly important. Profoundly important? But all she said, which is that she heard nothing. Yes, which is the profoundly important part. I was sure of it. Wait, what? Huh? I'm almost sure that I don't understand the inner workings of your Eastern Mind Council. Nevertheless. Miss Gina Lestrade, you will supplement your formal testimony by repeating that last statement, please. What? Supplement? What are you on about? Don't give me all your fancy talk. I know what you're trying to do. Well, it won't work on me. That's right. It's the judge. Always a good move. I was straining me ears to work out what was going on, but all I could hear was snoring.
Hold it!
So you were strained to hear what was happening the entire time, since the moment you hid yourself. Not exactly, no. Sorry. No, there was no one in the cabin to start with. I would just push the cushion up and have a butcher's to see what was what. But then, when I saw this swell getting on, it got me head down so he didn't notice me. And Mr. McGuilty sat on the seat under which you were hiding, correct? Yeah! Would you Adam and Eve it? Ugh, what a mug. Look at this fucking face. We're gonna pursue that after. So then all I could do was listen. I was ready to jump out of there as soon as I heard him leave, see? But Woody? Not likely. Even though we stopped here and there, I never heard the door open. So I just had to stay put and listen to him driven his pace and market, snoring like an old dog. What conclusions we can draw from that, I wonder? It makes sense or it doesn't add up. I mean, it mostly makes sense. Like, the only part that it runs up against is him hearing a noise, waking up. Or no, yeah. The door never opened. Well, actually, it doesn't make sense because the door never opened. And then how did the murderer get on board? Right? Miss Lestrade, what you have just told the court is clearly at odds with the facts. Huh? At odds? Oh, are you sure, man? Absolutely. It seems my learned Nipponese friend is not as dull-witted as I feared. Someone seeks reality too. Counsel, I must insist that you bolster your claim of evidence, or some complicit party's name at the very least. Yes, my lord. I expect you to demonstrate this as an alleged contradiction to the court. According to Mr. Lestrade, while she was hiding the omnibus that night, she heard nothing but the sound of Mr. McGuilty snoring. But think, Miroski, think! Where's that meme when I need it? Wait, holy shit. Aw, damn it. The, when he does that. When he does the face slap thing, it's like almost perfect for it. Of this, you know, the think bit. Like if we could get him right before he slaps his own face, we could make him do that. The only real question is like, who do we put his mark? You know. Let's see. There's something else she should have heard. Show a piece of evidence, show a person, or forget it. Oh, wait. Wait. Oh. The show a person. How... If the door never opened, how did Mason get in there? Very well, my lord. Allow me to elaborate. On a particular sound that Miss Lestrade could not have failed to hear on the night in question. The sound very clearly explained by the presence of the following person.
Take that!
Thrice-fired Mason. Yes, my lord. The sound that Miss Lestrade cannot have failed to hear is that of the victim, Mr. Mason boarding the omnibus. Order. Order! Explain your reasoning, counsel. Miss Lestrade, allow me to confirm something. You claimed earlier that you're the first person on board the omnibus. Is that correct? Yeah, of course I was. I got on whilst the driver was in the pub, didn't I? And the next person to board the omnibus was Mr. McGuilty. That I was. Not a soul was in the cabin when I climbed aboard. At least not in plain sight. So you were all, to all intents and purposes, alone in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus at that time. Did I not just say as much? I wasn't traveling with anyone else, if that's what you mean. Yeah, I saw him get on, remember? The crack under the seat cushion. He was on his own for sure. And, from what we've heard, the carriage made a number of stops after that on its onward journey. During which time did you not hear the door opening or closing at all? Oh wait, so does this thing open from the top? How does it open? So the loud thud was Mason being dropped in here, right? There doesn't appear to be a handle or catch. It can't be opened from inside the cabin. Well, there we go. There's what gets our man off, right? Because he couldn't have opened it. It had to have been opened from the outside, which means either the driver, the banker, or the hatter possibly murdered him, right? Nah, I never heard it. It's exactly what I was listening for, wasn't it? Waiting for this swell to leave. In which case, when, and how did the victim end up in the carriage? Well, we know that the victim collapsed inside the enclosed cabin of the omnibus. Therefore, Miss Lestrade's statement about what she did or did not hear is at odds with the facts. Yes, this petty thief's statement was clearly flawed. Lord Von Zieks. Yes, he knew. He knew all too well that there was an inconsistency in Miss Lestrade's statement. It would seem words of thanks are in order for my learned friend. What are you talking about? You have demonstrated matters impeccably. This witness and her colorful statements are entirely unreliable. Her words are complete untruths, nothing more. It's dead white. It makes no sense whatsoever. This clause of pickpocket is not good as that. She didn't say anything. I didn't want to judge the dear little mite just because she has rather north ways. But I must say, I can't abide liars. And neither can I. Mr. Foreman, I didn't want to judge the girl just because she has some less than solid religious ways. But I must say, I cannot abide liars. Hold on. That's 5 jury members leaning towards guilty. Well, your consideration for others is refreshing, my Lebanese friend. For the considerable troubles you have spared me. Dude, that, again, useful. You can ask someone for the sauce and say that. Yes, very refreshing. What are you playing at? I've forgotten who you're working for, you useless Eastern Ramadan. Mr. Norohodo, the way this is going. I know. We can't find some new way to convince everyone Mr. McGuilty's innocence. The judge will rule and we'll have lost. I very much wanted to believe the words of one of London's most respected gentlemen. But those of us in service know we must accept hard truths.
Hold it!
Yes, the witness's last statement seems to have revealed a critical inconsistency in her story. However, if we consider the possibility that her statement is in fact the truth, it may shed an entirely new light on this whole case. What are you saying? Counsel. I'm sorry, sir. Whatever do you mean? Counsel, I'll not tolerate you attempting to prorogue my education. Explain yourself at once. The accused had boarded the omnibus on the night in question. The victim was nowhere to be seen. Subsequently, the carriage door was not heard opening a single time, as testified by the witness in the stand. And yet the victim's body was found inside the carriage. They could have boarded at the same time, just saying. If this petty thief's words are true, how do you explain the victim's miraculous appearance inside the cabin of the omnibus? There's only one way to explain how the victim came to be inside the carriage. Let's see. And there already. There's another entrance. We put there after he died. Why not both of these? Really? I think I'll go with this one, because we can point to the omnibus's skylight, right? If the door wasn't open even once, the only explanation is that the victim entered the enclosed cabin some other way.
Objection!
I wondered what new fantasy you would come up with in your blind panic. But behold, the omnibus is here for all to see. Only one side of the enclosed cabin is furnished with a door, the other has only windows. Fixed windows, which cannot possibly open. In short, there is no entrance to the cabin other than the door.
Objection!
But there could be. There's only one possibility you haven't considered. Oh, really? Yes, one other way inside that isn't the door. Another opening, the use of which allowed the victim to appear inside the enclosed cabin. Alright, counsel. The defense will identify the location for the court. Here's the omnibus on which the incident occurred. Where on earth is this entrance by which you propose the victim entered the cabin?
Take that!
The answer is obvious. It can only have been the skylight. Like I say, the skylight.
Objection!
Your ludicrous proposal almost has me lost for words.
Objection!
The skylight may well be large enough for someone to pass through.
Objection!
So you claim that you have a shred of evidence to support your adult brain theory? Yeah, the sound. Both Mr. McGuilty and Miss Lestrade said in their testimonies. They each claimed to have heard a loud thud, such as the noise made by someone falling to the floor. Yes, which has already been explained. That's the sound of the victim falling from his seat having been assaulted with a dagger. Yes, it has, but would a man slipping from the seat onto the floor really have made such a loud noise, as the witness described? A noise loud enough to cause Miss Lestrade to let out an involuntary cry, in fact. Good gracious! Perhaps, in fact, that was the moment that the victim made his entrance into the cabin. No, let me rephrase that. The victim didn't enter the cabin as such. He fell into it.
Objection!
You are now suggesting that the victim fell from the skylight into the cabin. That's simply impossible. How can you be so sure? Because if the victim had fallen inside to the skylight, as you say, the passengers on the roof deck would have seen it happen. Yet, not one person made mention of such events in their testimony. Well, yes, that's true, but... Might a humble fella make a wee comment here? Mr. McGuilty? To be sure now, the two fellows who were sat on the roof to testify afore said nothing of the victim falling through the skylight. But it seems to me, my lord, that 'tis not so much a case of them not saying, but... Why? 'Tis a case of them being unable to say. What? Well, I think perhaps the two fellows do be having something of a compelling reason not to mention what happened. Would you not agree, fine ladies and gentlemen of the jury? Oh, my goodness, surely not. Those two chaps on the roof. You mean the ones who stuck that knife in the man were? Whoa! Just what exactly are you insinuating here, you blitherer? Whoa, holy shit.
You rotter, he said. You rotter. What are you insinuating?
This is a flaming outrage. Got a good mind to give you a blinker in a minute.
He'll give you a shiner in a minute, he said, and so will I.
Mr. Fairplay, you're effectively accusing me, a city gentleman and well-respected banker.
And me, a very angry hatter.
Suggesting that someone like me could have stabbed that man in the guts. It's a disgrace. Scandalous. I protest. I protest in the strongest possible terms.
That's right. I protest too about you, you rotten scoundrel.
I really gotta get like good with smacking the message. You know, this particular one right here. Oh,
Order! Order!
it's not the time, witnesses. I will not permit this wanton invasion of the stand. Return to the answer room at once.
But this is beyond reason, my lord.
It's outrageous.
It's very hurtful, you know.
My lord, if I may comment. Go ahead, Lord Von Zeus. It was the defense that incited this outburst from the witnesses. My learned friend has seen fit to abandon our protocol and accuse the witnesses without proof.
Accuse? Why? I never intended to.
It seems, young Nipponese, that your command of the English tongue is wanting. You proposed to this court that the victim fell through the skylight from the roof deck of the omnibus. That hypothesis cannot possibly stand without the rooftop passengers being aware of the events. You have rendered these gentlemen liars. You've intimidated their criminal guilt. In our British courts of law, that is what is termed a baseless accusation. I know, I was rash to put this idea forward without any actual evidence, but you can't just dismiss it without a second thought. What are we wasting time for? Get them to testify. I thought there was something fishy about that hat from the moment I laid eyes on that fellow. We'll have to see this matter through now, one way or another.
If there's built-in rubbish in our midst, we must dispose of it at once.
Ooh, there's voice acting for this.
What's happening, Mr. Naruhodo?
The spectators in the public forum gallery are they're in a complete frenzy. Mr. Fairplay and Mr. First. My lord. You will take the stand again and make another formal testimony in reference to the indictment. Indictment? Indictment. It is pronounced indictment, right? No, indictment is spelled with an E. Indictment? In reference to the indictment brought by the defense. Yes, my lord. I didn't come here for this. There's no time to think this through. All I can do is keep pushing forward. Refuting the accusation. We were the only two people up on that roof deck, dead or alive. I can swear to that.
If anything happened where we were sitting, don't think one or the other would have noticed.
In case neither of us know the first thing about the victim. But at least the guilty man.
The skylight was shut the entire time, I tell you. We couldn't possibly have opened it.
You're so sure the victim fell through the skylight. Where's your proof? I must say that on listening to this testimony, it is somewhat hard to imagine how either witness could have performed any malevolent act on this open rooftop deck without the other noticing forthwith. That's right! See!
We're innocent, I tell you.
Although logically, of course, the argument falls down if the two of you are in collusion with one another. What? According to investigations by Scotland Yard, the two witnesses share no common dealings. Well, I don't trust coppers any more than I trust the stinking rich. So it doesn't feel right here. The trial is going wrong. So why do I feel so uneasy? Counsel for the defense. Over to you. Your cross-examination, please. Yes, my lord. You're wrong, because there was also Peppa. So at no time did the victim, Mr. Mason, climb up to join you on the roof deck? Absolutely not! Take it. No question about it, he said. None at all. Oh, but yes, of course, I remember seeing them both. I saw the victim inside the enclosed cabin talking with this man here. Is this true, Mr. McGuilty? Yeah, my lord. At the risk of repeating myself, I boarded the omnibus alone and nodded off inside almost immediately. That's an outright lie. Without doubt, you were engaged in... Let me stop you there, fella, and ask, do you have any evidence at all? At all? Oh. It's all about evidence in the court these days, so it is. You do well to remember that. Oh, I saw you with my own eyes! This is going so well. Anything can happen while we're sitting, but don't you think one of the others would have noticed?
Hold it!
Well, it was on the final run of the omnibus, at past 10 o'clock in the evening. It would certainly have been quite dark. Perhaps too dark to see clearly. Is this some kind of a lark? Is this some kind of a joke, he said. Is that what this is? Or perhaps one or the other you fell asleep briefly. Oh, you fair dinkum, sir. Are you serious, sir? That's what he said. It's impossible, I tell you. I give you the keys to the vault if you fall asleep in that bitter cold. If you did manage it, your eyelids would freeze shut and you never open them again. That's extreme. It was extreme, I tell you. And we had to put up with it because this man had locked the door. Any true gent would have unlocked it and let me in when I knocked. I really sorry about that, young fella. But you see, I was away with the fairies and I didn't hear you at all. That's a lie. Well, I saw you through the glass. You were talking to someone. It was a cold night, so it was. People do be seeing things without real in the cold. It's highly surprising. Seeing things! Seeing things! I believe you're reaching impasse on this project. Ugh, you! Don't take it personally now, Lamb. If I'm a suspect in this case, it is only fair that you're the other phenom too. Open and free competition is what a capitalist society is all about. This isn't a competition I should like to be involved in, really. So, you had never met Mr. Thrice-Fired Mason before? Oh, well, no. Not once. Never. Never met the man before, he said. Never. And you, Mr. First, had no prior dealings with the victim either. That's right, sir. Hatters don't have much to do with brickmakers, to be perfectly honest, sir. No, I imagine not. You see, how many different ways can I put this? Neither of us had the remotest connection to the gentleman who was inside the cabin. Oh, really?
Excuse me.
Mr. McGuilty.
Yes, Counsel. What can I be doing you for?
Did the witness's last statement give you pause for thought somehow?
Not the remotest connection. Is that right now, I wonder?
What are you insinuating now?
Mr. Fairplay. It has been too long, so it has. If I'm not very much mistaken, I believe tis fast approaching, is it not? Your payment date.
I beg your pardon.
You borrowed 20 guineas from me, sir.
An unconscionable rate of interest. You tricked me. It's extortion.
Well, now, is that a touch of begrudgery? Is it the sort of begrudgery that might not motivate a fellow to pass his crimes off on one another?
Ugh.
And young Mr. Frost.
Yes, sir. What do you want me, sir?
You do be making hats for a living, do you not? That there top hat sliding about on your head. Is that one of your own creations, is it?
So there's an apprentice, you understand? I'm learning to find the perfect fit for whatever fine gent walks through the door.
The perfect fit, is it? Well, 'tis a very distinctive design sort of this.
Many customers like it, I tell you. They like a distinctive touch.
What's this? Such as Christ-fired Mason. There was a photographic print that the victim submitted as evidence of form, my lord.
Oh, this you mean?
I can't help thinking that the poor fellow's hat looks, distinctly familiar. What do you say?
That's one of my hats.
Right, that is. So it would seem the brickmaker was a customer of yours. The sort of customer, I wager, you could have had a wee quarrel with over the distinctness of the goods.
No, sir. Absolutely not, sir.
Well, there's really nothing more to add. It wouldn't be right to say that the two fellows here haven't the remotest connection to the victim, you see. I rest my case.
You little weasel. Ugh. Wow, he's better at this than I am. Gosh, Mr. McGuilty has certainly been thorough in his research, hasn't he?
Please, don't let my little interruption hold up the proceedings.
Achievement unlocked Hat Hunter. So it doesn't actually add anything onto it. It's just like a full aside of saying that yes, they do have a connection. That's funny.
Hold it!
Are you quite certain about that? That the skylight was shut the entire time? I'm going to lose my block with you in a minute. He's going to lose his rag with you in a minute, that's what he said. Take a look for yourself. Go on. See, it's shut fast now, just like it was on that night.
So it is. Of course, a fellow the size of Mr. Mason could likely break right through it still.
What? Just looking at the size of the thing, you understand. Hold on there a minute, sir. The size of the thing means nothing. Not on its own. Let's consider the bigger picture here, shall we?
Let's stop finding that king, shall we?
I was riding the omnibus on another occasion when, well, I broke wind loudly. I shocked myself with it as it happens. This is an unexpected conversion, Mr. First. Oh, hey, I just mean to say, well, the point is I tried to open the skylight, you see. but just my luck, I couldn't make it budge. The stench was terrible. Everyone was looking daggers at me, sir. I went to Red as Rouge, I did. Are you expecting me to sentence you? Oh, no, sir. The point is, the skylight can't be opened. I tried when I was inside that cabin to change.
Excuse me.
Do you have something to say about that, Miss Lestrade? Miss Lestrade. It opens. The skylight. That is what we're talking about, right? All of them skylights open dead easy. More easy than you can load that weapon. That's a lie, I tell you. Otherwise, when I broke wind, I can't do it from inside your mug. Oh. Look, a few weeks ago, I was up on the roof deck of one of them drags. And I had a great haul. I mean, I had purses coming out of my ears. Miss Lestrade, this is not the forum to be eulogizing the subject of your criminal activities. Well, anyway, I had a bit of a scare. When I looked at the last bloke's purse, he got wiser to me. All four of them surrounded me, so I couldn't hop off the bus and leg it. So what I did was, I used the skylight, opened the catch and jumped right through. What? Yeah, the catch for them skylights is on the top side. That's why you can't open them from the cabin. The skylight opens from the roof deck. Bailiff, climb up onto the roof of the omnibus at once and verify this witness's claims. Oh, my hat. Say. I like this job. Order! Order! So, it appears that this street girl's statement is quite true. I don't believe it. The skylight opens from the roof deck. Mr. Naruhodo, this could be the clue we've been looking for. Well, counsel for the defense, please continue with your cross-examination. Yes, my lord. So the skylight opens. Perhaps I should investigate for myself. I wonder if there's anything like caught on it. Like if when he was thrown down through it, if that is what happened, that like something got caught. So the skylight was fastened shut before. But now the catch has been done. We should be able to open it. Is there anything in there? You can certainly see inside the passage through something, that's for sure. Yes, and there's a lamp inside the enclosed cabin. So I'm sure the witnesses were able to see quite clearly. That's nothing for us. Is that something? Bread? Oh, there's blood. No. There's blood. I can see it. Hold on. Do I have to look at it from the inside? Hold on. There's blood. There's proof. Look at that. Look at it. Look at it. There's proof. It does open very wide, doesn't it? Wide enough to kick someone like you through, certainly, Mr. Naruhodo. Why someone like me? Ah! What is... Look! Just here! Look at this! That's... without question, it's blood! Wow, there'd be a blood stain. Surely. It can't be unrelated to the case, can it? Alright. We got some proof now. I kind of want to press just to get up and see it.
Objection!
On the night in question, the victim was fatally stabbed in the stomach. And immediately afterwards, the victim's body was pushed through the skylight into the cavern below. Those are the facts, and the irrefutable proof remains clearly visible in the omnibus that stands before us today in this very courtroom. What? That's utter humbug. You can't possibly have evidence. No, you can't. I mean, we didn't do it, I tell you. It's impossible. Irrefutable proof here, in this courtroom, at this time of day. My lord, I believe everyone would appreciate a little clarification here. Where, exactly within the omnibus, is this evidence to which you allude? You will point out what it is that proves the victim fell through the roof deck through the skylight. Right, okay, we've seen this already. Oh, did I press the wrong button? I think I did press the wrong button. Yeah, I pressed A instead of present. By Jupiter! Is that blood? This blood stain proves two things. Firstly, when the incident occurred, the skylight of the omnibus was open. What? And, secondly, the victim was already bleeding when he fell through the opening. Oh my. And so it follows that Mr. McGuilty, who was inside the enclosed cabin himself at the time, cannot possibly be guilty of this crime. Oh. No! Order!
Hold it!
But the blood could have sprayed up there when the fellow was stabbed inside the cabin. And only found its way to that one particular spot on the skylight. Sure, and that will be very convenient. Ah. And let's keep in mind that the skylight catch can only be unfastened from the roof deck. And I myself wouldn't have been able to open it now, would I? But, there's no way to know for certain, is there? If the gent really fell through the skylight, I mean. Why don't you have a good look at the floor of the cabin between the two seats, Mr. Forrest? It's all too plain if you see. There's the aftermath that shows the poor fella dropped from a fair height right there, so it is. What? No. It can't be. It's all lies.
Hold it!
My fellow jury members, I think we can all agree that this is clear proof of the defendant's innocence, can't we? I believe we can. Yes, so it's clear to me now where the filthy rubbish can be found in this courtroom. So, they thought they could pull the wool over my eyes, did they? I won't tolerate any of the guilty carriages being sullied with blood. I won't take it. Tolerate it, sorry. Oh, I always knew that nice gentleman who gave us that delightful park couldn't have done such a thing. On three then, everyone. 1, 2, 3.
Objection!
A chilling performance, Mr. McGuilty.
Oh, and what would you be referring to there now, Lord Von Zeeks?
A blood stain on the frame of the skylight. Such evidence is null and void. What? Why? For one extremely simple reason. That smear of blood never existed.
Objection!
What are you talking about? It's there for all to see. It's clearly blood.
Objection!
I personally attended Scotland Yard's investigation of the omnibus. The officers involved went over the carriage with a fine-tooth comb. so I can state with absolute surety. No such smear of blood existed in the carriage. At least, not until this trial began. But... Oh, are you suggesting, Lord Van Zieks, that this stain of blood was fabricated, my lord? Yes. And while this court has been in session. What?
Man, that smoke bomb did a whole lot of things happening. What a gullible. I must say I didn't expect such crude reason from a prosecutor of your standing, Lord Van Zieks. But I'm Magnus McGuilty, a fellow known all over the capital for his fine contributions to public life. I don't take kindly to slander. I'll fight it to the bitter end. Even if it's rolling off the tongue of the Reaper of the Bailey.
Mr. McGuilty, I realize that this is your first appearance in court as the accused. However, I am well aware of your involvement behind the scene in a great many affairs of dubious nature. You are very adept when it comes to avoiding getting your own hands dirty. And each time it happens that a case you are involved in is investigated, you adapt the facts.
Adapt the facts? What does that even mean?
When you wield a fortune the size of Mr. McGuilty's, however ill-begotten it may be, nothing is impossible. Tampering with evidence, manipulating the scene of a crime, bribing witnesses. I toast your ability to concoct the most convenient of stories, sir.
Tut, Lord Van Zieks. This will not do, to be sure. Will it now, counsel?
Oh, no!
I think it's fair to say, this does all sound like a rather far-fetched excuse by a desperate man. The blood on the skylight didn't exist, just say. But, if you will all cast your minds back, is it not true that the omnibus there has been in the courtroom the entire time? How could anyone possibly have put a smear of blood in it without the world and his wife seeing? Isn't that right now, counsel?
It's true. The omnibus has been in full view the entire time the court has been in session. My learned friend. Here's to hearing your opinion on this matter in your own words.
I wonder if there's a way to investigate it beforehand.
As you wish. Could someone have tampered with the omnibus during this trial? If you're asking me, I think...
During the smoke screen. As a defense lawyer, it's my job to advocate for the defendant as best as I can. But still,
I feel as though there's something even more important at stake here. There's no evidence to suggest that the defendant did as my learned friend suggests. However, in terms of having the opportunity to carry out the alleged tampering, there's one possibility. Oh, good gracious! Explain yourself, counsel. Yes, there is. It seems my learned It seems my learned Nipponese friend has no intention of running from this deceit. Deceit? I'm sure everyone still remembers clearly the recess that we were forced to take. As a result of the smoke grenade, fired by the witness currently in the stand, Miss Gina Lestrade. Careful, Mr. Naruhodo. Cover your face. Bailiff, don't need to excuse a kid. Sorry. We've already read this, so I don't really want to read it again. The courtroom was filled with smoke, and everyone was thrown into confusion. All of us were made to leave this chamber. In that brief interval, under the veil of smoke and all the chaos, it could have been possible to steal inside the omnibus. Are you wise? What are you trying to pull, you rotten feckless gouger? Feckless gouger? You're supposed to be defending me. Tis a wicked plot. Tis a plot to undermine me, so it is.
Objection!
Whatever you think this is, it changes nothing. The facts are the same. After this courtroom was evacuated earlier as a result of the smoke grenade, a number of inconsistencies materialized in relation to the omnibus. Inconsistencies, such as, to start with, the storage compartment underneath the rear passenger seat. When the police investigated the omnibus, this compartment was full of the driver's items. Secondly, we have the smear of blood on the edge of the skylight. As I have said, that was not present at the start of the trial this morning. Unfortunately, Lord Von Zeeks, no one is able to corroborate your claims. It's true. When the omnibus was first wheeled out, both the storage compartment and the skylight were shut. Accordingly, I'm afraid to say, we cannot establish with any certainty that this evidence is the result of tampering or not. Indeed, my lord. No doubt there was not a single person who saw fit to verify such things. What do you think? Sorry. About the omnibus. Is there anything else unusual about the omnibus? I admit I have not checked it out again. I don't know. Wait a minute. Are there two doors on this thing? Or no? Did anything change with the blood stain? I mean, there was not a blood stain on the floor like before. Well, this blood stain is so obvious that all the Bunzies didn't even mention it. Why is such a bad feeling like this? Versus this blood stain. Doesn't seem like it was a planned attack. Well, I mean, if it wasn't a planned attack, then it would have been passed on. Yes, Counsel. There is one further inconsistency. A mark that surely could not have been present at the start of the trial. What? What in the devil's name are you going to say now? If you would dare betray me, little maggot, you better start watching your back. Silence, McGuilty. The court awaits the defense's clarification. swinging below the other. Where's the truth and what's the deception? What am I supposed to do? What exactly is the mark you communicate or something in the child? Right. Right, yeah. Oh, fuck. I didn't press the right button.
Got it!
If we consider that the victim fell through the skyline and report the cabin, you would certainly expect to find signs of blood where he landed. But as far as I recall, this bloodstain on the cabin floor was not there when the omnibus was first brought into the courtroom. Good lord! Yes, I do believe you're correct, counsel. Well said. Although, as advocate for the defense, one might say that was a very careless slip of the tongue. I believe that bloodstain on the floor is a decisive piece of evidence. But if the question is whether that evidence is genuine, or whether it was unlawfully fabricated by someone, I feel compelled to admit that there's at least a possibility that the evidence is fake. Is it possible to win this trial without being, like, a lying bastard? Like, McGuilty, I assume, is actually innocent, but we need to prove it somehow. This trial is over. Mr. McGuilty. I've done everything I possibly can to cooperate with the court, but it's all over now. But you're the defendant. It is over, I tell you. Memory, recollection. What people think they saw, it's all nonsense. Facts are what counts. And the fact is, that bloodstain is there, now. Well, and over the course of this desperate trial, long and extremely drawn out as it has been, that good-for-nothing April the Bailey has failed to present any decisive evidence at all. Scandalized, so I am. I thought better of Lord Von Zeeks. Well, my lord, I must concur with the defendant. The unaffirmed recollections of an individual cannot stand as evidence. At this moment in time, the particular bloodstain in question is very much in existence. In the absence of any credible method by which to prove its alleged previous non-existence. Hold on, is it in the picture? I regret to say that it would be improper for this trial to continue. Your lordship can't be serious. Lord Von Zeeks, what is your position? The prosecution, my lord. There's no further witnesses or evidence to present. Very well. In that case, as I believe we have explored every possible avenue in this matter, I shall proceed to my adjudication. As a formality, of course, I'm obliged to confirm with the defense first. What formality? As things stand at the moment, it would seem that Mr. McGuilty will be found not guilty. Yes. Which would mean we've won. Is that really the right outcome? Is it really all right for the trial to come to an end now, with all these unexplained inconsistencies? Counsel for the defense. Your closing statement, please. Yes, my lord. The defense believes... I don't know what I should do here. I don't... Do I say he's innocent? Like, I mean, he's not innocent. I don't. I mean, he could be. Like he's doing lots of, like, you know, like the trial thingies. I don't. If he's asleep, then he was innocent, right? Whether he tried to hide up, to hide his whole thing or not, it's kind of, you know, besides the point, I suppose. Because he could be guilty. He could be innocent. I am here in this courtroom today to advocate for the defense of my client, Mr. McGuilty. However, at this moment in time, I cannot in all good conscience attest fully to the defendant's innocence. What are you saying, man? Without any question, there is no conclusive evidence to prove that the defendant is guilty. However, there is also no conclusive evidence to prove that he is innocent. Good gracious me. Order! Order! This is unprecedented behavior, counsel. A defense lawyer calling the accused's innocence into question. Are you of sound mind? Oh, it was a grand decision to appoint you as my lawyer, so it was a grand decision. What? I must say, I didn't quite expect such an exciting spectacle at the end there, but still. Here, have this for your troubles. Your job here is done, fella. Oh, and some fine work you've done, so you have. What do you mean? It's just as the right honorable gentleman so succinctly put it before. Trial can't go on anymore. And your closing statement there was, oh, how do you put it now? Nothing more than a formality. I really don't know what to make all of this. Was the evidence we received genuine, or was it a fake? His lordship would be fuming. The unsightly rubbish should be disposed of properly, as I said. Stinking wretched is guilty of something. You mark my words. I feel terribly ashamed that I ever doubted that lovely man who gave us the lovely talk. Now that the proceedings have unfolded in this way, I am compelled to declare a premature end to this trial. Furthermore, the court must accept the defendant's plea. I thank you kindly, my lord. I hereby pronounce the verdict of this court.
Objection!
Well, no. What? We still haven't determined if the blood stain in the arm of this is genuine or not. We don't know if these witnesses are telling the truth or a pack of lies. We have no idea about the truth. Lord Von Zeeks, my lord, the case made by the prosecution was flawed, plain and simple. If indeed the omnibus presented evidence was tampered with, the prosecution is at fault for allowing such a disgraceful perversion of justice to take place. My sincerest apologies, my lord.
Objection!
But, wait. When we were evacuated from the courtroom, Lord Von Seeks ordered the evidence to be secured.
I'm afraid the prosecution cannot shun responsibility in this matter.
That's so unfair.
The culpability of the defendant has not, at the present time, been established by this court. Consequently, the jury will not be required to proffer judgment.
Oh.
Lord Von Seeks, it's been a pleasure, Swordhouse. And as for you, my dear fellow, I couldn't have asked for a better defense.
To tell me this is all been a great waste of time.
It is the law of the land, my good man. If you like to pursue this matter further, you can always go ahead and try to change the law.
Magnus McGuilty.
Good grief! You have more to say to me, have you?
Just one thing. A warning. This is far from over.
Yeah, something to be looking forward to then.
I hereby pronounce the defendant, Mr. Magnus McGuilty, not guilty. Man, what a trial that was.
Outrage. Should have examined the evidence more. What are you talking about? The man's been cleared. He's innocent.
With the courtroom pandemonium for the second time that day, the judge delivered his verdict. When I first ever trial in Great Britain came to an abrupt end, with the defendant being found not guilty. Ostensibly, a victory for us. That took 5 hours. Because it was 12 something.
That certainly was a long trial. Yes, it was. Your first ever trial in foreign soil, and your first victory. It was a wonderful performance. My heartfelt congratulations. And to you, Mr. Sada, thank you for your assistance. I suppose we should be happy. The trouble is, we're still completely in the dark about what actually happened. Well, we didn't have enough time. But isn't it wrong? I mean, who was actually responsible for Mr. Mason's death? We don't even know that. The sole aim of the defense is to obtain a verdict that exonerates the defendant. You carried out your duty to perfection.
Why, that you did.
Mr. McGuilty. The others with him too.
Well, it seems the stories are true.
Oh? What stories?
About the 6 enormous fireworks they do be letting off when there's a verdict not guilty. I'm sure you must have seen them now. Spectacular, wouldn't you say?
Yes, definitely.
I heard it was a sight to behold, and to be sure it was. And I'm due to thank, I suppose, for having an opportunity to say it.
Oh, I don't know about that. I'm not sure I really did anything.
What on earth are you saying, fella? How did I walk out of there a free man, then?
I don't think it was so much thanks to me as down to your planning.
You're a straight-talking fella, aren't you? I must say, you had me astray in the head there once or twice. But you're young and headstrong. There's water under the bridge.
Congratulations, Mr. McGuilty, on having your name cleared. But nothing's resolved.
There's only one thing that matters to me.
Oh?
Aye. They've all seen that I didn't do that odious and absonant deed. 'Tis grand, is it not?
I suppose it is.
Now the fine fellows of Scotland Yard can take matters in hand and sort out any wee details. They'll see it for what it is. They'll get to the truth. I have absolute faith in them, so I have. After all, I do be providing a good number of their wages with all the taxes they pay. What?
It's not that funny.
Tell them. As we agreed afore, 1,000 guineas for your trouble.
Oh, no, I couldn't possibly accept that much.
Ah, be whist. You're humble people, are you? You're from the east? Well, if you insist. But have this. Still in all, you deserve a reward.
Mr. Magnus McGuilty. Everything is ready, sir. If you'd like to follow me into the courtroom. Into the courtroom?
What's this, officer? 'Tis sooner than I was led to believe.
I hope it's not inconvenient, sir. There were some changes to the schedule.
Well, I must be making tracks now. 'Tis time for the inspection.
Sorry. What inspection?
They're going to examine the omnibus again, so I'm told. I asked if I could be present for it myself.
They're going to examine it again. Now.
Naturally, I'm under no obligation to take part in any more of this matter now. But as an upstanding member of London society, I do be doing my best to help where I can. 'Tis a gentleman's duty, so it is. So then, fare thee well. It was an absolute pleasure meeting you. I hope you have a wheel of a time when you're studying here at Great Britain.
And there he goes. A free man. Oh, I forgot she was here too. Please don't shoot me. And please don't steal my guinea that he just gave me.
Don't move!
What else I want to say, get a move on. She really does take forever to load that thing. Miss Lestrade, would you mind putting that thing down? You're a grown-up. Sorry. And I ain't all grown-ups. Oh, there you are! Wait, okay. That was clearly not the right voice. I don't... Whoa, the music. I don't know what voice to give this small, tiny child. I like her, the heart keeping the goggles together. Also, the design of the goggles seems terribly familiar, does it not? Like a certain Sholmes, perhaps. Naughty, naughty, running off like that! Just some kind of... Who's this little girl now? Taking that with you as well. I was looking forward to the trial run of my experimental smoke grenade launcher. Huh. Oh, do you want to play? You won't beat me? Excuse me, but who are you? Oh, good day to you. I'm the inventor, I suppose, of that machine. The inventor? Well, all me smoke grenades are so dull, don't you agree? White. White and more white. If you had to be shrouded in smoke, it could at least be a pretty color, I thought to myself. Do we have to be shrouded in smoke, though? At all? Oh, I just took my eyes off it for a moment whilst I was changing onto a different arm of us and she pinched it. Luckily, I fitted it with a telegraphic beacon. What's it? What? I have no idea what this girl is talking about. Anyway, you're coming with me now. Back to my laboratory. What? What for? To apologize, of course, silly. To my technician. What? You mean say sorry? You must say sorry when you've done something wrong. Surely an adult has told you that before? An adult? Don't listen to no adults. Come along then. Follow me. Fine. Have it your way. Oh, good. You see, I knew you want to do the right thing in the end. I'm fairly sure that what she wants to do is not to get shot by that massive gun of yours. So many hearts. They're on her gloves, too. We'll be leaving now then. Bye-bye. I'm so sorry for all the fuss. She was a lively one. Well, do you think perhaps we ought to be on our way now too? Yes, you're right. But where to? Oh, we haven't had time to find a place to stay. No sooner have we arrived in London, we had to rush here. All our traveling cases are still with the bailiff. I was originally planning to spend today in search of lodgings. But at this late hour in the day, I'm afraid we may be out of luck. Don't worry now, I have a plan. If the worst comes to worst, I've heard of a lovely park where we could spend the night. Please tell me you're not thinking of McGuilty Park. I know it might be a little chilly at this time of year, but our youthfulness will see us through. I'm not so sure about that. I think a midwinter London night will freeze and get into some solid just as easily as an elderly one. Oh, dear. Doesn't sound agreeable. I'm sorry to regret turning Mr. McGuilty down. That 1,000 guineas would have paid for a lovely warm room or mansion. And so, the trial to determine my worthiness for the study tour was over by the end of our first day in London. However, as we were soon to learn, there were more trying than that. Just as the Reaper the Bailey had warned, the case was far from over. Good. Do we get an ending
What's
thing?
going on? Get the fire brigade! Water!
Oh,
Bring water!
I see.
What the? How did this happen?
I don't know, sir. By the time I got here, it was already engulfed.
No one was supposed to be allowed in here before we started investigating. No. Oh, good God. There's someone in there.
Oh, this can't be.
Did he burn one of the jurors alive or something? Who did he put in there? I assume it wasn't what's his face? That McGuilty wasn't inside of that. Achievement unlocked the realm of the Reaper. Save your progress. Yes. The adventure of the clouded kokoro. Okay, of the clouded heart, huh? Cool. Well, we'll watch the opening cutscene of the next one if it plays automatically. Which I think, if I recall correctly, it doesn't actually. We can actually back out, right? Yeah. So we'll. Okay, so we won't do a preview of the next thing, but that was fun. That was a good case. I quite enjoyed that. It's really, I mean, you can probably tell, I suppose, but I did enjoy. I did enjoy voicing silly people during that, so it was good. We already looked at these. Auditorium. Is there anything for what's his face? No. sadly. Iris Wilson, huh? So, this is like Watson, but different, I assume? Or, oh, I'm forgetting her name. God, I need to reread my Sherlock Holmes books. Who is the landlord for Sherlock Holmes? She lives with them. Mrs. Hudson. Is Wilson supposed to be Mrs. Hudson? Or is she supposed to be Watson-y? Or a mix, perhaps? I'm a little bit bummed that Lestrade isn't in here. I'm kind of curious what her voice sounds like. Escapades. Okay, well... Visit the Lord Sergeant to inform the outcome of Mr. Knotsmith's trial. Mr. Knotsmith's trial? Mr. Knotsmith's trial? Hold on. We'll back out of this if we need to. Oh, yeah, no, I don't think... Unfit middle-aged man running from pillar to pillar. Gregson. Inspector Gregson with chips. Sorry that I'm like skipping through things, not actually saying things out loud. I just want to know if I should be watching this or not. If Strongheart says anything about, you know, like your first trial and becoming a real lawyer, then we're on the right thing. No, okay, no, mind. Wait, what? Back to escapades, don't say. So are escapades like their own little thing, or it's not just like a little bit? Mr. Knotsmith, the Japanese scholar wants a teacher of English. Yeah, okay, so we haven't done his thing yet. Okay. Huh. Alright, anyway. That's it for tonight. I hope you all enjoyed. It was a good time. Whew. A lot of reading. I really did enjoy what's his face. Well, okay, so the two that I enjoyed the most out of that for sure was you know, as always, Von Zeke's was pretty great. And then I don't think I actually have any screenshots of him because he didn't say anything particularly interesting. But Mr. McGuilty, he was a fun voice to do that one. He was. So anyway, I'll see you all tomorrow for a game, probably. For, you know, probably Splatoon, let's be real. Probably some Splatoon. I don't have like a bunch of demos like I did last time. Though, you know, that was also fun. But, probably just Splatoon tomorrow night, I suppose. And then I have plans on the weekend to go for a walk with a friend, hopefully. But I don't know which day, but I do kind of intend on playing more Fatal Frame if I can find the time for it. Because I really enjoy it. So that will be So have a good one, everyone, and take it easy. Bye for now.
Double, triple.